more and actually spread a lot of prosperity. And I would like to thank both Sugar Development Council for funding outgrowers, but most especially Central Bank is pumping billions of naira to support outgrowers, not only in sugar, in all other commodities. We must commend them. With this plantation, we will establish integrated sugar mills with attached refineries. We will generate more power than we need, which means we will pass a lot of power to the grid, which is a major challenge today in Nigeria. We will produce molasses. We will actually produce a lot of ethanol, which is fuel, and we'll do biomass, which is like fertilizer. We'll produce animal feed from the bagasse and the molasses, and this will support and encourage more investment in agricultural sector. In Nasarawa State, we have concluded plans for an integrated sugar complex at Tunga, for which we are now signing. We have already signed the MoU. The project comprises of about 60,000 hectares of sugar plantation and 12,000 tons of cane per hour plants, which will produce 430,000 tons per annum of refined white sugar, which represents about 30% of the national consumption today. And as I said earlier on, this will be the largest sugar plantation in Nigeria and West Africa. And we are targeting that by the time that we have additional land, it will make history and become the largest sugar plantation in Africa. Nigeria's dream of becoming self-sufficient in sugar production is well encapsulated in the master plan produced by the Sugar Council. Dr. Busari, the Executive Secretary of Sugar Council, was one of the brains behind this production of the master plan. We were greatly encouraged when he was reappointed to take charge and once again supervise the execution of the master plan. The most difficult part is the execution. In Nigeria, we have all sorts of plans, but execution is the difficult part. But with having Dr. Busari, we will all now go to bed and make sure that, yes, that this thing will be done, and it will be done according to the rules of the game. It is important that the plan is religiously implemented and there is a level playing field and transparency in imposing sanctions and also reward for players when required. This has to be done as as was the case in the cement industry. You heard what the permanent secretary said. We have achieved that in cement. We will also achieve this in sugar, but we must make sure that we are all very, very serious. There is no more hiding place for any one of us in terms of making Nigeria self-sufficient in sugar. I want to single out two people here today whose hard work, dedicated patriotism, and passion for reviving Nigeria's agricultural sector has helped to make today's event a reality. The first one is our host governor, Alhaji Al-Makura, governor of Nasarawa State. He single-handedly mobilized all the necessary stakeholders in the state to join him in creating the remarkably enabling environment that attracted us to take this huge investment decision in a very, very short notice. He removed all the traditional hurdles and roadblocks usually experienced in conception and taking off of such a large-scale agricultural project. As a result, we were able to conclude and commit the investment of this project in a record time. What we succeeded in doing in less than 3 months normally takes us 2 to 3 years in other areas. Your Excellency, we thank you very much. Your Excellency, please accept our deepest appreciation And we want to assure you that we will not only meet but indeed exceed the expectations of the good people of Nasarawa State and Nigerians at large. The next person I want to appreciate is my very, very good friend, Mr. Godwin Emefiele, CON, the Governor of Central Bank, for not only doing his job as a central banker, but also paying a lot of attention into agriculture. He has gotten himself involved in funding outgrowers and also funding big-scale farmers like us, where now we're able to get money at a single-digit interest and also long-term for 10 years. I would like to thank the governor, the committee of governors, which is the deputy governors, including my brother here, Alhaji Suleiman Barau, for giving us all the support. And I want to clearly say that without their support, all our projects wouldn't have been possible. We thank you very much for all your support. The prosperity today that we're having in agriculture, I can assure you, without the involvement and also support by the Central Bank of Nigeria, it wouldn't have been possible. That's why I said earlier on, today when you go to the rural areas, people don't talk about recession. It is only when you come to cities where we live, we now talk about that, yes, Nigeria is in recession. But I want to tell you that today what they have done marvelously well, where it has actually taken a lot of wealth to the rural areas, and I hope they will continue to do much more. Special mention must also be made to our elsewhere, ambassador. There is Ambassador Musa Ilu, who has actually given us all the support. We must thank you for what you have done. I would like to thank, even though I know he has not been around, our elsewhere Chief Audu Ogbe, the Honorable Minister of Agriculture, and a seasoned farmer himself, that has brought his wealth of experience to bear on the transforming the agricultural sector. The encouragement and support of our own Minister of Industry, Trade and Investment, Dr. Oke Enel Lama, is of course a constant factor in increasing confidence in ourselves and other investors who are now showing interest in the Nigerian economy, and we will continue to also support him to achieve his work. I want to say something which is really, really, new to what we are doing. Normally, when you go in somewhere to invest, you first of all face your investment, and then you start doing some community development. Right now, before we even start the factory, our company has actually approved now more than what I promised before. They have approved the sum of 250 million naira for community development to start now from June for the Tunga and Away area. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, there are so many others who have assisted us and also encouraged us in this in various ways with our agricultural projects that cannot be mentioned in this my speech. On our part, we shall work hard to vindicate them by delivering on our dream to make Nigeria self-sufficient in sugar and self-sufficient in rice in the next 5 years by the grace of God. I want to give you a good news, which we have not actually made it public, but we have signed 10 rice mills, a little bit bigger than the ones that Olam built in Nasarawa State. We are building 10 at the same time. They will all arrive in Nigeria by the grace of God end of this year, and we'll start construction. It is on this positive note that I would like to end my speech with thanks to all who have joined us here today for the MoU signing ceremony for our Tunga Sugar project. Thank you. May God bless you all.